What is good, my ninjas? It is your boy Metsetsu coming at you with another Phantasy Star Online 2 video, and today your boy is back. I know I've been kind of on a hiatus, but I'm back and we have a new story. So I had to put out a video for this, and just before we start this video, if you like the video, hit that like button, smack it, tap on it, you know what I'm saying? Just do a little something on there, you know, to tell your boy that you're feeling the content, and subscribe for more PSO2 news, discussions, theories, opinions, whatever. So let's get into the video. So we just got a new story, and it looks like this is the end of maybe the Dark Falz. I guess you want to call it the saga, which honestly I'm feeling it. I like that they're kind of steering away, which was one of my main concerns in my earlier videos of when are we going to be steering away from the Dark Falz? Are we going to be steering away from the Dark Falz? Are they going to introduce any new enemies, anything like that? And spoiler alert, just in case you haven't done the video, you haven't finished the story, I guess, they do. They introduce a new enemy type, which is called the Starless, which honestly, I'm actually intrigued. Hopefully they're gonna have a new design with it. Hopefully it's gonna be something extremely epic. I definitely like the Dark Falz look that they gave the enemy. As far as when they introduced Dark Falz, I like that look. I definitely felt it was different from the old PSO, and also I definitely like the fact that the way the story went. Now, of course, PSO2 is not known for its story, its riveting stories, so of course the story was a little bit boring, a little bit lackluster as far as just with the dialogue and everything, but the plot behind it, of everything that was happening on Halfia as far as us fighting Dark Falz, was extremely just an experiment, which I thought was a dope way to go about it. I thought it was an absolute clever way of going about this whole thing, because of course in my earlier videos I talked about Halfia Lake and what is that thing in the sky, and come to find out it is a Dark Falz producing machine, which I thought was very, very interesting. Honestly, I was thinking maybe it could have been a dungeon, or it could have been like some kind of floating fortress or something like that, but it wound up being a production facility for Dark Falz, which I thought was absolutely dope. Also a cloning facility, because they were making Arch Defenders, or at least the Arch Defender, the ultimate Arch Defender, which we happen to be. Now, of course, the main villain, I think his name was Zephito, something like that. I mean, he was cool. Definitely was digging the look with the skull and everything. Definitely wish they would have made that maybe a cosmetic that you could get in game instead of trying to buy it. But of course, it's not a cosmetic at all, unfortunately. But I definitely thought, since we were reaching the end of, I guess, the Dark Falz saga, that they could have at least been like, you know what, here's a little something, you know, get y'all on y'all way, kind of get y'all hyped for actually wanting to do it. Now, of course, the story behind him I thought was very interesting. The fact that he's been doing this experiment for 300 years, which I definitely thought was interesting, as well as the fact that he was trying to get the Arch Defenders back to how they were 1,000 years ago, which of course is where this game is leaving off from the other PSO2, the OG PSO2, because we are 1,000 years into the future with the OG PSO2, which was one of the things that I wanted to talk about, or one of the things I talked about in my earlier videos, which was the fact that they weren't doing anything really interesting with the enemy types and just with the story, just because it was Dark Falz and we're 1,000 years into the future of PSO2 and there's no change up. So I definitely like that tie-in that they brought in with the story, or this ending story, or this ending arc. Definitely feel that with the Starless being introduced, I really hope that we start going off-world and we're not just kind of trapped on Helfia, that we actually do some space exploration and we do actually go out into the universe and start fighting these Starless, as well as some other types, some other enemy types. I would love to see some other enemy types that they were introduced, or they'll introduce as well, just because having new enemies 1,000 years into the future is going to spark and bring about new entities, whether it's new enemy types, new species, whatever the case is. We're 1,000 years. 1,000 years is a long time. A long time. That is 10 centuries. So that just goes to show you that we should be having some different stuff. Now, I kind of feel that it was a little cliche with him telling us the story behind it. And of course, with them telling us the story behind it, of course the Starless are coming. So I kind of felt like they were a little cliche in just how that went about. I felt like they could have probably went about it a different way. How? I don't know, but I just felt like they didn't have to go the extreme cliche anime route. But of course, this is an anime-ish type RPG. So, tomato, tomato. You know what I'm saying? You get the good with the bad. So, essentially, we have all of these things going on. We have the Starless, 300 years. This guy's been doing it. Of course, us, the character that we've created, is that chosen one as far as with us being able to do what he was originally trying to set out to do from the first 2 experiments that he did. So definitely interesting with the story, definitely interesting with the enemy type that they're going to be bringing in. Definitely hope that they do some different type stuff, because I feel like they really need to bring it. They really need to bring the sauce when it comes to New Genesis. They just really need to bring it when it comes to this next arc of the story. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think. Did you like the story as a whole? Did you at least like the ending? And what do you feel about the new enemy faction that we're going to be getting with Starless? Put it down in the comment section below. Like the video and subscribe for more from your boy Metsetsu. Peace!